Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for being here. We are doing Proverbs 20 today, first half. Again, thanks for being here. If you've got any questions or comments, leave those below. Likes and shares are appreciated. And let's go ahead and get started. Verse 1 of chapter 20. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. So this is one of the many warnings against alcohol and excess in the Bible, and that if you are letting it lead you astray, then you are pulling yourself out of the wise category. So I think it's just telling us to be careful. Some people say it means to stay away from it altogether, but it's definitely not something that we should let control our lives. Verse 2, the terror of a king is like the growling of a lion, and whoever provokes him to anger forfeits his life. So this is a warning against, being careful as to who you anger and, who you're around when they're angry. Be careful with people of power and position in your life and what you say. Being more careful maybe what you say around them or how you speak to them, showing them the respect that they should get, whether or not they deserve it. Just be careful and try not to provoke them to anger. Verse 3: it's an honor for a man to keep aloof from strife, but every fool will be quarreling. So it's an honor to stay away from strife and stay away from struggles. It's an honor to just be able to remove yourself from that. But a fool will be quarreling. I think we've all known people or know people in our lives where, everything's a battle. Not that they have to, they have to work for everything, but just that, there always seems to be drama. And it's almost as if they're making it up sometimes. And the Bible says that is a foolish behavior, to be constantly quarreling, constantly looking for a quarrel. That is foolish behavior. So it's an honor for us to just stay away from it and be able to remove ourselves from it. Verse 4, the sluggard does not plow in the autumn, but will seek a harvest and have nothing. So the lazy doesn't put in the work ahead of time, but still at harvest he's seeking a harvest. I heard something yesterday. I think it might have been the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I just started that in an audio version. But he was talking about how ridiculous it is to cram for harvest. So, there are things in life where you can kind of cram last minute and be able to get through, whether it's an exam or interview at work or, whatever. You stay up late the night before and you're shoving all this information into your head, and enough of it sticks that you can kind of use it for whatever it is to get you through. But nobody is going out at harvest going, oh, well, let me plant the seed real quick and I'll come back and check it tomorrow and see if I've got a harvest like everybody else. That's not how it works. It's the natural cycle. And so we need to be careful that our laziness doesn't knock us off of the natural cycle. And we don't end up being hungry at harvest time. So that may mean one of the common phrases is make hay while the sun shines. So if you've got the work and it's a seasonal thing, it may be that you put some other stuff on the back burner and able to enable you to be able to do the work and make the money. But do make sure it's seasonal. This is not an excuse or a biblical backing for a workaholic lifestyle. If it's seasonal, then go to work and make it happen. But make sure to take the downtime as well in order to invest in the things that are important, like family and friends and stuff like that. So, verse 5, the purpose in a man's heart is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. And so I looked up the original or some of the other translations of the word purpose, and they were the plans, the advice, basically the knowledge, the wisdom within a man's heart is like deep water. There's a lot there. There's a lot to be drawn out. But a man of understanding, a man of wisdom, a man of discerning heart would draw it out. So basically what I think this is saying is that, in people's heart is advice and wisdom and things that we can benefit from. And it's our job as those that are seeking wisdom to be able to draw it out and to be able to ask the questions and put ourselves in the situations and have the conversations to be able to draw that out, that wisdom. Verse 6, many a man proclaims his own steadfast love, but a faithful man who can find? So many people talk about how steadfast and how loyal they are, but one that's truly faithful is hard to find. So be careful that if you are, whether you're claiming to be steadfast or whether you're complaining to be consistent and claiming that you're going to show up, make sure that you are the faithful one, that you are the one that shows up when someone needs you, or that you're living a consistent lifestyle with that. Verse 7, the righteous who walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. So one who walks in integrity, obviously I think the fact that he's blessed is implied, but it says even his children are blessed after him. And I mean, I think that could be, I could say that that's true. When people find out who my parents are back home, I've automatically got some kind of clout and some kind of position or stature with them because they know my parents and they know that they're people of integrity. And so they assume that I'm a person of integrity because of that. And so we need to realize that our integrity, our level of integrity, is going to reflect on generations after us. Verse 8, a king who sits on the throne of judgment winnows all evil with his eyes. Winnows there is like disperses or gets away, gets rid of all the evil with his eyes. So a king who sits on the throne of judgment disperses or gets rid of all evil with his eyes. Verse 9, who can say, I've made my heart pure and I am clean from sin? Obviously, we know that none of us are perfect and none of us are able to get to a level of perfection. So we need to constantly purify, constantly clean, constantly look at our life and figure out what needs to go and what needs to stay. Verse 10, unequal weights and unequal measures are both alike an abomination to the Lord. So in general, any kind of dishonesty is an abomination to the Lord. So we've talked about before how they had, when they would measure something out, they would use a scale and weights and figure out, how much grain or how much whatever flour or whatever they needed or whatever they were buying or selling. And so weights and measures were a big deal, and that was essentially their currency. And they would actually use it because their currency wasn't as consistent as it is today. They would use, the weight of the money, I believe, instead of it, the number of coins. And I could be wrong about that, but in any case, any type of dishonesty is an abomination, and we need to be careful how we let that enter our lives. Verse 11, even a child makes himself known in his acts, and whether his conduct is pure and upright. So even a child, and I think the implication here is obviously an adult, makes himself known. So we make ourselves known to the people that see us and interact with us as to whether our conduct is pure and upright. So if you think you're getting away with something, I think this is a promise in saying that eventually it will come out. Verse 12, the hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord has made them both. So I thought this one was kind of odd. The ability to hear and the ability to see are obviously blessings. But if the Lord made all of us, how what's the point in pointing both of those out? Like why was this brought out? Why was this pointed out? Why was it identified? And the commentary I looked up pointed out, or helped me notice that the hearing and the seeing are our ability to learn, our ability to take in knowledge, our ability to take in wisdom. And it's just pointing out again that the Lord made them both, and the Lord gave us the ability to hear and to listen and to see and to take in knowledge and to gain wisdom. And so it's only through His ability and His blessing that we're able to do that. Verse 13, love not sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will have plenty of bread. So this basically says, if you don't sleep too much, you'll be able to feed your family and take care of them. So be careful with laziness and sleeping too much and it cutting into your ability to provide for your family or, further yourself. Just be careful with that. Verse 14, bad, says the buyer, but when he goes away, then he boasts. So we've all seen or maybe been in negotiations where the buyer talks about how bad, how terrible, and tries to, use little insignificant things to barter the price down, and then he walks away. He brags about how good it is and how much how much he got knocked off the price. So again, it goes back to just a genuine honesty and being able to answer for yourself and know that you are an honest and upright and righteous person. Verse 15, there is gold in abundance of costly stones, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. So basically, it's talking about how powerful and how valuable lips of knowledge are. And so it's saying that, yes, there's gold, lots of costly stones, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. So having lips of knowledge, having wisdom that you're able to share is a precious thing. And as we are going out and seeking wisdom and trying to gain wisdom from those around us, we'll see, we need to see the value in what they're sharing with us and what they're giving us, and treat that as a valuable thing and not just as somebody's opinion or something that's not important. But anyway, so that's verse 15 of chapter 20. We'll pick up with verse 16 tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.